Welcome to our greetings and our excitement about having you come back to church here at 4th Ave. To our family, we just have missed you so much, and we're delighted that we can start this process of getting back into service and together as a body, and we're excited about that. You'll have to give us some grace and some patience in this process because we're learning together, we're working it through, and we also want to let you know that as we open up here, we know that being uncomfortable or having some anxiety about this, we understand that, and so if you're wanting to wear a mask, that's no problem. Please use a mask when you come to church.
Yeah, we won't have any here, but you can bring your own.
Yeah, and if you feel uncomfortable, we're still videotaping the services. We'll be recording it, and then we'll be downloading it in the afternoon on Sunday afternoon or even Sunday morning. We'll be starting at 10 o'clock, and so we're going to try to get that video to you, those that still feel uncomfortable with coming, and we bless you to do that. Parents with children, we just want to remind you that because of this COVID thing and because of sanitation reasons, we're asking you to keep your kids close by. We know that they love to run around, but we can't have that going on right now, and so I know that it's going to be a little bit harder for you. We're going to try to keep our services in a more manageable time for you with your children, and so just want to encourage you with that. As we talk about this idea of transitioning into the service, we've changed the format a little bit. I know I talked about a couple of Sundays ago or in a video that we would do 2 services. We're going to change that to 1 service on a Sunday, and then we're going to divide it up. So half the church will come this Sunday, half the church will come next Sunday, and we will do that interspersing or alternating it, and so it's just for easing for us, for volunteers, so that it's not too difficult for us, and it's sort of opening up in a manageable way.
Yeah.
And so Jason's going to talk a little bit about our services and what that looks like.
Yeah, so on every given Sunday, as Abe said, we're going to be starting at 10 o'clock. And the first thing I want to say is make sure that you arrive with enough time to be able to get through the whole process here. There's going to be greeters that will meet you right up front here. They'll ask you a few questions just to make sure that it's safe for you to come inside. And because of the way the government restrictions are, we need to be able to keep track of who's coming into the service. And so what we've done is we've taken the time to go through our phone book, and we've divided up the phone book into 2 separate groups, separate services. Service 1 and Service 2. And within each of those groups, we've also split them up into Group A and Group B. And so what's going to happen is you're going to get a follow-up email from this video that will tell you which group you've been assigned to, essentially. And we, as Abe said, we just want to ask for some grace and patience. Mm-hmm. You may not like the group you're in at this point, mm-hmm. but we just ask that, you know what, it gives you a chance to fellowship with people you might not normally have fellowship with or something like that, but it gives you an opportunity to come together as a family again. And so this Sunday, Service 1 is going to take place at 10 o'clock, mm-hmm. and Group A, you will come in on this side of these doors, and Group B, you're going to come in on this side of the doors. And then next week, we'll meet you here again, and it'll be Service 2. So if you're Service 2, don't show up this Sunday, show up next Sunday. Same thing, Group A and Group B. And we'll one of the things that we already talked about doing, we have our birthday calendar and our events calendar, and we're going to make sure that we put those service, whether you're Service 1 or Service 2, and we'll have that on those Sundays so that it's listed. It's another reminder, oh, which service am I supposed to show up? Did I go last week or whatever? Then you know at least that which week you can show up as far as the service goes. And so why don't we walk inside? Join me as we just journey through this process of what it's going to look like when you show up, because it's going to look a little bit different as you show up from week to week. the first thing you'll notice when you walk in the door is that there's tables set up right at the doorway here. And if you look on the table, you'll notice that there's hand sanitizer, there's a couple of offering envelopes. We'll talk more about offering in just a bit. And then some daily breads. If you need a daily bread, you can grab it there. But we ask that everyone that walks in, grab some hand sanitizer on the way in. Parents, make sure your kids get their hands sanitized as well. We ask as much as possible, just try not to touch too many things. And you'll notice on the floor as you walk in and all the way up into the sanctuary, there's tape on the floor. For social distancing, we ask that you remain on the tape, and as the line moves forward, you'll be able to move through the lines on the tape. All right, so when you get up into the foyer area, you'll notice that it actually looks quite a bit different. There's tables and chairs to separate and make sure that we keep the social distancing in check. And again, there's tape on the floor, and if you'll come walk with me, we'll just start walking towards the sanctuary, and you'll notice a few things along the way. Parents, just so you're aware, we've blocked off the hallways, so your kids can't run around in the hallways at all. Again, we ask that you keep them in check. The other thing that we should say is that the downstairs is completely off limits. We're not allowing anyone downstairs, just so that we don't have to sanitize or do anything like that afterwards. And you'll notice as we continue to walk that we won't have any coffee or anything of the sort here at the coffee center. There won't be any water or anything like that, but if you want to, if you choose to, you can bring from home and bring your water or bring your coffee, and you're free to do so and consume it here as well. And as we keep walking, I'll just remind you that if you're on side B, let's say, because I'm on the side B aisle right now, when you show up, for those of you that have infants especially, the nurseries will still be available. So side B, the nursery will be over here. And if you come in on side A, if you're part of the group A, the nursery will be on that side. And the other thing I'll say right now as well is if you need to use the restrooms, for those of you inside A, there's a bathroom in that nursery as well, and you'll be using that one. And for those of you that are coming in on side B, you'll be using the main washroom area that is typically used. Now we're going to make sure that each washroom only has one stall open, so there will only be one person allowed at a time, and they'll be sanitized after each use before the next person is allowed to come in. So why don't you follow me into the sanctuary, and as we get to the sanctuary doors, what you'll notice is there's a big red line here, and that's basically your stop, and we want to make sure that you wait for an usher to guide you into the sanctuary, and Abe and I will explain what's going to happen as you walk into the sanctuary. So why don't you join me as we walk into the sanctuary here.
Okay, as you notice, there's lines here just to make sure that we stay separated, like Jason had said before. And the other thing that we want to remind you of, we recognize that you're not going to get your favorite seat. We recognize that you're not going to be able to sit where you normally do it, and that's just a part of this journey that we're on. And again, we're asking for patience and grace in this process of getting us back to worship together.
Amen.
You know, this is going to be an awesome thing. So as you notice, as you come down in here, this is cordoned off and this is open. And so what we're doing is couples and singles will be sitting on this side, and families, because we need the room for families, then we're allocating this side and that far side for family units, which is anywhere more than 3 people. Then we're alternating the seats so that you have the social distancing or 6-foot distancing, physical distance, whatever you want to call it, that we have a really good space between them. And
we've taken the time to do some measurements and make sure that this space here is the social distancing,
right.
and then so we're alternating. A family will sit on this bench, there won't be anyone here, and then a family will be sitting on this bench, and so on and so forth.
And your bulletins and your information will be on the pews, so that you don't have to pick them up at the table there. They'll be on your pews when you come in, just so that we lessen the chance of contamination if that were the case at all. And again, you know, this is a trial and error thing, so you're gonna have to be a little patient with us. We might not start the service on time, and as we're backing up now, and as we back up to the front of the sanctuary, after the service, what happens is the ushers will come and they will direct you out. It's not a free-for-all just to walk out the doors. They will come to the front of the sanctuary and they will suggest or recommend when people leave, and they will tell you when you leave. And side A will leave out those. No,
side B.
This is side B. So what happens? It says side A on the outside.
No, it says side A on that side, side B on this side.
Okay,
so what's going to happen is when the usher dismisses a pew, if you're on side B, you'll exit through these doors into the parking lot, and side A, you'll exit through those doors. Those go outside onto the grassy area outside the building. You'll have to make your way from there around the front or else through the back to the parking lot area as well, depending on where you parked your vehicle.
And the other thing is, you notice that there's baskets at the exits. And those are for your offering, and we know that your pockets are getting heavy because you haven't spent any money for 4 months, and so we're happy to encourage you to give during this time. And but yeah, seriously, the offering buckets are right there for you to go.
Yeah.
Anything else that we need to talk about?
No, I think we've covered. Oh no, one thing that we recognize is that there might be one or two of you that need some elevator service, and so what we're going to do is ask those of you that need elevator service to just sit still while people are ushered out, and once those people have left the building, we'll get you back into the elevator and we'll help you get to your vehicle on the back side of the parking lot.
And just in closing, we just want to say that we're excited about this. Again, we're looking forward to being with you all. Yeah. And I know that it's a little different that we're alternating services, but this is just a way of managing. Again, I want to remind you of that. And also the idea that feel free to, once the service is over and you're outside, you can certainly visit and chat outside. And we encourage that, actually, as long as you keep your physical distancing intact. And I know the kids want to run around and they can do that outside, and so we're encouraging that.
Yeah, we're just not really allowed to keep that mingling inside. So we just ask that if you want to visit, please take it outside, and then you're free to visit as much as you want. Yeah. Man, what a joy it is to think about the idea of
we're excited
again.
We're really excited and looking forward to it. And so that ends our video for today. Bye-bye.
See you.